Hello, good evening, welcome to another episode of Easy 8's Online Painting Club. My name is Danny, and as usual for the next 2 hours I'm going to be sat here with you painting some of my miniatures live, hopefully giving you the experience of an online painting club, because that's what it's called, right? The whole idea of this show is to just bring people together. If you like hobby painting, or frankly, if you like doing anything and you're just looking for a little bit of company live while you do it, that's exactly what this show is all about. The last couple of years I've always started the shows by saying it's not a tutorial show. It's not. I'm not really that good. I try to be. I try to improve all the time. But if anything over the last few months, what has really taught me is it's very important to have a reason to carve out a little bit of time from your very busy schedule and make sure that you do the thing that you like to do. And that's what this show is all about. I've had a very, very busy couple of weeks. I thought I was going to kind of have an easier week of it this week, and I didn't. And yeah, I've not been able to do anything since the last week's show, and that bothers me. But at the same time, it's really cool to have this place to come together, meet some of the friends that are lining up in the live chat right now. Hi Shiv and hi Crumbs, how are you guys doing? And just be a part of it all. So that's what this show's all about. If you like what we do here, please do consider subscribing. You know the drill. Subscribers make the community grow. We have been growing and growing and growing. We slowed down a little bit recently, and that's absolutely fine. But if you think that you know anyone who might benefit from this show, bringing people together, painting in the hobby. I'm painting Warhammer 40,000 in a minute, but I paint all sorts of stuff. I like to do like big tanks. I like to do bolt action stuff. I like to do little piddly stuff. Sometimes I like to do, you know, like little D&D figures. I like to paint. And this is my outlet, and I'm sharing it with you guys. So if you know anybody who think they might benefit from the show, get them to come along, and maybe they'll be a subscriber. And if they don't want to subscribe, poke them in the arm until they do, because it's a very simple thing to do. Just hit that button, the community grows, and we all change the algorithm. All hail the algorithm. Every time you interact with the show, be it a subscribe thing, maybe you push the little bell icon to know when I'm going to go live. It's always on a Friday. Maybe you like to comment on the comment section or interact with the live chat. It always affects the algorithm. All hail the algorithm. I'm getting like notes of hot fuzz there. For the greater good. For the greater good. Glad I said that on live air. Cool. On live air. I'm doing well today, aren't I? Yeah, so please subscribe. It would really make my day. Also, if you are painting something this evening, let me know all about it. Let the guys in the live chat know all about it. If you want to join in the live chat, that is, you don't have to. But maybe you're just kind of watching, just kind of keeping it in the background. You want to share some photos of your stuff. You could do so on Facebook and on Discord. And I'll be on Discord at the end of the show if you want to come and join the chat over there as well. And if you want to just keep up with us, then we're also on Instagram as well. All the links to all of our descriptions are down there, downstairs in the description of this video, with a host of links to people who I like to see stuff from. So go and check out all those people. My dinner's repeating on me every week. It always repeats on me. I know that the microphone isn't good. I've been trying to pretend it is good, and I'm sorry. Just before I was going live, I thought, I wonder if I can bring my little gaming mic back into it, because at least it will be present, at least it will be close and decent. And I wasn't able to set up the filters. If you know what I'm talking about, you know it takes a little bit longer than just a couple of minutes. I think I'm going to have to. I review my videos. I like to know what works and what doesn't. And if I'm really close, I know the microphone sounds really good, but it doesn't have the range, and it might be because it's cheap. I try to do it on a shoestring budget because I'm just a guy in the attic trying to bring the hobby to people. I get it. I'm really sorry. I tried. I think I'm just going to have to put my hand in my pocket and buy a really good one. Because I want it to look cool. I want it to look like the Joe Rogan Experience. I want to have like my own podcast place. Who doesn't want to do that? But if it's not buttering the parsnips, so to speak, then it's time to pull that band-aid off. So I'm going to try my best for the remainder of this evening to talk closely to the microphone to give you the dulcet tones of my voice. It might be that it just needs setting up properly, and I'm not a sounds engineer. Now, I've actually had some advice from Shiv in Table of Horrors there, who says, maybe I can help you set that up, but we don't live anywhere near each other, so it might be an arduous and lengthy task. But I'm all ears. Thanks. Cool. Anyway, who have we got in the live chat waiting today? We've got Table of Horrors, hey all, and we've got Crumbs, Evening Shiv, and the Lurkers, and Danny as well. All good, Danny. Cool, thanks very much for coming along. I think it's going to be a quiet... I had it in my head tonight was going to be quiet. I don't know why it's going to be quiet. I know there's a few people out there who are a little bit poorly, and I know that some people have actually gone away on holiday. But that doesn't matter. You can always watch it back on the replay as well. So, yeah, come and join in. I'm going to be carrying on with the project that I've been working on for the last few weeks. And last week it felt like a slow week. It wasn't. It's a difficult part of the project. And I'm trying to resist the temptation to just like change out projects and go to something else, because that's how you don't get stuff done. And this show is all about getting stuff done, am I right? So I don't want to do that. So I've just got to knuckle down. So this week there might be periods where I'm really quiet and just kind of painting. But you guys chat to me, man. I look at that live chat all the time. So if you want to have a conversation, let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do this together. And tell me what you're working on, because I'm genuinely inspired and motivated by the stuff that you guys do. And hopefully I do that for you too. So yeah. Oh, here we go. Table of Horror says, got 2 ways for you to fix your audio. We could chat after the show before you leave the money on my side cabinet. I'll bring the cigarettes. And then Crumb says, thinking of setting up a project of 2 venom crawlers. Venom crawlers. What's a venom crawler? Tell me what a venom crawler is. I like the sound of it. It sounds really nerdy, and if it's nerdy, I like that. Cool. Anyway, not even any cuddling. Nope. To the workbench! At least the transition worked well this time. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and position the microphone in a place where it's right in my way. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully it works. I'm going to try and avoid the conversation crumbs, because I try to make this for families and, you know, not specifically for children, but I like to think that if there's any hobbyists out there who think, oh, I want to bring my kids along to this, we don't get down and talk in the, you know what I mean. It's an adult show, or it's a kid show. So yeah, just try and make my borderless window go away. There we go. Wonderful. Cool. Right. So here is my big old Screamer Killer. I like my Screamer Killer. I think it's starting to look really, really cool. I've been working on the blending transitions and whatever. I was thinking about trying to do some wet blending to make these kind of blend into each other, but I do like the stark lines of contrast on them. I think that is kind of cool, and I kind of want to keep that. I was trying, by putting a Basilicanum grey filter over the top. That is a contrast paint watered down, and it works on a lot of my other things. It doesn't look right on this. It looks good, but it doesn't. It loses a lot of what it is. So I've been thinking about actually using an ink filter. I bought this a long time ago, and this is for the airbrush specifically. So I might give it a very fine misting of that. I've got a little blank canvas model over there, which I try a lot of my things on. So I might have a go at that and see what it works. If it doesn't, this is fine. It's okay. It's going to be grimy. It's going to be like grimdark stuff anyway. Whatevs, trevs. I don't mind. As you can see, I've got the 4th colour on there. So I've got black, dark grey, light grey, or mid grey. Then light grey is a highlight. But I've only just started putting it on the bottom plate here. Just at the end of Discord last week I did that. So yeah, I've got to try and make that look like it's really good. Because at the minute it's not. And then I've got to do it on that one, that one, that one. And then I'm going to try and do the same sort of effect on these stacks here. One of the problems I've had in the past trying to do stacks and carapace and integrate is I always tried to make everything black and then blend it down to grey, but where does the black go on here if I'm using black as a shadow? It's a problem in my own head, not yours. You probably won't get it. So what I've done is I've made them all grey, and there's little bits of black in the creases and the dots and the lines and stuff in there, certainly in the openings at the top up here, right? But it should be dark grey, and then all I'm going to do is, if I get my paintbrush into point, is I'm going to apply mid grey going down in streaks, very much in the same way that you've got this linear pattern going on here with all those streaky bits. And then I'm going to go down with the light grey and then do highlights on it. And I think that's a winner. I might go upwards, but I think it kind of blends down nicely into these dark grey areas, and I don't think there's any need to do upwards colours. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? Anyway, cool. Once I've got this done, move on to this bit. It's a very small canvas to work on in here. They're very narrow, so it'll probably be quite quick, and it won't look anywhere near as good as what it will up here, but I'll have the same effects and it'll blend in. Then tail. Once tail is done, head, and then once head is done, onto the legs, and then I've got these little bits on the front here. And then onto the arms. There's a long way to go yet. So I just need to crack on. What I am going to do very quickly though, I'm just going to have a little look and make sure that I've not missed any comments going in. I was just looking at the screen then. A lot of my specs were playing up on my screen, but they're not now. Okay, cool. Table Horror says, I was really lazy and did nothing this week, so I'm still working on my Mark IV Tactical. Cool, love it, brilliant. Cuddling does cost extra, you're right. So much for the kid show. It's the spidery boy from the old Chaos. Start collecting box, Combat Patrol, was the thing. Yeah, I'm not familiar with all the Combat Patrol boxes. The big starter boxes, I don't really know what's involved in them. I helped a friend lighten his load when he bought the, I think it was a Leviathan box set, and I took some aggressors, Space Marine aggressors, and the new Primaris, the bog standard original Dreadnought, off his hands for a small parting fee. Beyond that, that's all I know that's in them, so I don't know that. Hey man, I lived in Japan. We're only talking about companionship. I'm not going down that path with you, pal. I'm not doing it on this show. That's Discord. Danny in a Japanese hostess club. Nope, not having that conversation. I've got an airbrush. You got an airbrush? That's exciting. Tell me more about the airbrush if you haven't already. Nice ship. Have you an airbrush? You have an airbrush, but do you have any Scale 75 metallics? No, they're really hard to get hold of, aren't they? I was having this conversation with a friend a little while ago. Scale 75, very good brand from what I know, difficult to get hold of. I love it when he's trying to ignore what we're saying, but you can hear his tone when he reads it. Yep. Moving on. Hi, Adrian. Thanks for coming along, pal. That faint air of disgust. Damn straight it is, brother. It's not like I'm angry or anything. It's just that I'm wholly disappointed. And do you know what we haven't done yet? Look, I've got a cup of tea made just for here. Cup of tea. Happy Friday, everybody. It's been a tough. I don't want to turn it into that therapy evening, but it's been a really, really tough couple of weeks, months, really. And I'm just so glad that I can have these evenings where I share the hobby and just the smack talk, with you guys. And I hope that you guys that are watching now and anyone who kind of tunes in later on, I hope that you get. I hope you get the same, or even somewhere near the same sort of weekly relief, if you like, by coming along to this show. So to all of you and to this evening, cheers, happy weekend. The grown-up juice is in the second half. Although the last couple of days, I would say that maybe the caffeine is the hard stuff. I'm going to move the microphone a little bit. I know, controversial, right? After all that conversation, but I need to be able to get access to the model. So, you going to move? Are you going to stay still? Cool, good, brilliant. Here we go then. So, into the highlight colours. I'm going to be moving into Ministratum Grey. It's a brand new pot, and they always bung up at the back, don't they? Look at that. Never wants to close properly. Anyway, going to give it a really good old shake. So, if Staff was online, and I know he's been a bit poorly lately, he told me the day in a message, he might not join in, he might come in a bit later on, but if Staff was here, he'd be like, get yourself a Wazomatic, Waz it. Like in the old days of Easy, it had a little Vortex mixer. They're expensive. I don't want to get a cheap, rubbishy one. Again, the last one broke, so yeah. Excuse me. I have a bit of a tickly cough today. There might be a lot of that. What can you do, eh? Stop it, I suppose. So it's a brush that uses air. Knots. Yeah, great. Thanks for that. You're gonna be a tricky one tonight, aren't you? That's my fake laugh sound. Got some basic. Got a basic tank, a compressor thingy. Yep, cool. A fairly no-name pistol-style airbrush. Just to start, only pushed air through it so far. It pushed it well. But do you know what? To start off with, that's what you need, really, isn't it? That's how I started. It's just because I paint with horde armies. I paint up horde armies, and I don't want to do 1,000 insectoid aliens with a brush. So yeah. You need a new Wasmatic, says Adrian. There you go, Mr. Causey. Thanks, mate. In lieu of the Stafford. My dad's actually away this week as well. For those of you that don't know my dad, he's Geoff. He normally joins in the live chat. If you watch previous episodes, you'll see him there. Yeah. Oh, there's something tacky in my paint water. Change your paint water, kids. That's from last week. Told you I've been lazy. Soz. Right. Where am I? Need probably a touch of water. I've been using this the Master's brush cleaner and preserver as a preserver, like a restorer. So just keeping a little bit of the soap in the bristles while I'm not painting, and I think it's doing them a good job. So I always like to wash my brushes out before I start painting, but you should not paint with dry brushes. Even dry brushing is not a dry brush. Please water your brushes. Breathe a bit of life into the bristles. Don't go in with a soaking wet bristle, just one bristle. But yeah, you should try to have a wet brush before the paint goes into it. Right, so the concentration is going to come in. I'm going to move the boom once again, so I know that my voice will go distant. Really sorry, I'm on it. I'm going to change that. Total soz. Right, so a highlighty bit. I want to make the edges of all the carapace bits, especially the spikes, and bring them out in this highlight colour. I'm going to have to move into the 000 brush in a minute. Even this 0 brush, a bit too chunky for it. Wet side at the moment, so it's not dodgy enough. But for this, just for this moment, it's just good to get a little layer on there to just make that define the opacity of that colour. Strengthen it. And I like to apply it in like little strokes, like little pats, like this. And as I do that, it helps just kind of create the pattern, that liney pattern. Makes it like little creases and flares and chinks and things like that. I'm noticing really big mistakes. I've got some black on the end. Yeah, dot right there. Ugh, need to sort that out. Okay, underneath is looking pretty good. I need to do a bit more down here, I think. You're not really ever going to see underneath, but on the odd occasion that you might want to look wholly inappropriate, call HR someone. I'll make it look like I've at least painted. There we go. A hair in my nose, get away from me. Been studying tutorial videos, but one thing nobody talks about for airbrushing Warhammer: how are you supposed to get the paint from the Citadel air pot into the airbrush without a major problem? I don't use the Citadel air pots, to be fair. Do the air paints come in these? Because that's annoying. What I would do is go on Amazon and buy yourself a big old bag of these little plastic pipettes. You can pick them up for pence. And just get a big old bundle of them, because you'll probably end up using them to destruction. And if you needed to mix down your paints, because you've not got air paints, is you can buy thinner, and you can buy these little things. These are actually, when I bought these were like nail varnish things. I don't know, maybe they use them in nail salons. But you can mix it up to the right consistency, pour it into the hopper of your airbrush. Give that a try. I've got a whole stack of them in there. Oh, there's a hair in my nose, and I don't want to pick my nose on the air. Don't want to do it. Okay. Do you know what? This is too big a brush. Get over it. Go to the small one. Take your time. Here we go. 000 brush. As we get closer to the edge of that piece of armour, I want to make it quite blocked out colour, but as it travels upwards I want it to fade out into those lines. So I like to establish a border, solid line kind of going down like that. And once I've established it, I just start doing the lines. And it takes a little bit of time, but the payoff is really good. Scooping with an old size 4 and dumping it in with some air flow improver, says Crumbs. I've done it at about 80% of chaos. Done about 80% of Chaos Lord, and I'm going all out Master of Possession. I assume those two comments are not linked. I've done about 80% of a Chaos Lord, and I'm going all out of a Master of Possession. Okay, cool. Nice. Photos, or it didn't happen, please. Pick them up on Facebook or on Discord. Getting some messages on my phone on the side over there. And there's some important family messages, so I just keep on looking over, making sure that everything's okay. I don't anticipate having to be redirected this evening, but if I do, I have a pause button. So, yeah. Every now and again I'll be distracted and look over. We've all got our lives, man. Problem with using a teeny tiny brush is that you can't load up loads of paint, so you have to go to the palette all the time, which is why a lot of people, and I, do prefer to use a bigger brush just so that the belly of the brush can hold a bit more paint. But sometimes you just need that tiny brush to do your thing, don't you? Punctuation is not my thing, says Crumbs. No, it's just me reading everything in one like info dump style, so apologise not, and don't worry, it's not you, it's me. There we are, back to our relationship dilemma again. Eh? Oh dear, I'm struggling with the consistency again. I always struggle with consistency. I think I'm going to have to work down. This is what I was doing previously, wasn't it? I'm going to have to like do streaks in this direction to stop the splodging at the wrong end of the line. Let's see how this goes. As I impact with the model, I'm going to leave a big blip, but I want it to go blip like that and then go thinner. You know what I mean? So I need to work in this direction. Then the brush touches the character. Pick a line. Come on, Dan, get your consistency right. You can do it, at least just for once. Getting better. By adding this highlight line right on the edge of that piece of carapace there, because you've got that really stark contrast from the highest, from the brightest grey, right to the black. So that's why I really like this pattern. Is you've got the gradient, you've got the blend, if you like, but then all of a sudden it just goes blip straight back to the black again, and I really like that. It really shows you where all the details are. I know they're not like crowded mega details or anything, but you know, shows you the edges of the plates. Tempting to want to go crazy. Oh, sorry, that word was tempting. I just blurted out. Tempting. It's tempting to want to go crazy with the lightest grey. Do like really big streaks all over, but actually it should just be about picking out the edges. It doesn't have to be anything more than what this end bit here is. I haven't really got a good focus on here, have we? Let's see if I can change the focus a little bit. Might be able to zoom in a little bit. Who knows? Oh, that's as far as I can zoom. Let's take away that autofocus because it's not working on me today. That's a bit better, isn't it? Let's see how that goes. If I move out of focal range, though, I'm going to lose it all. But at least you can see that I'm working on something a bit tighter there. Told you I'm not a professional. Oh, I see. Licking the paintbrush was actually the key to the right consistency. Well, that's not good, is it? Well, that's certainly an improvement. It's a nice look. Thanks very much. I like that. I value that. Have you considered stippling between the two colours to blur the transition? Oh, no, I haven't. Now I want to, but now I have to change everything. On the next project, I'll do that. Maybe I'll finish it and I'll go like, nah, I'm going to do it now. Good suggestion, thank you. Excuse me. Don't know why I'm leaning away from the mic. Not hard. Really tricky trying to get in and around these stacks though. I did contemplate building it separate. Honestly, who could be bothered with that? Happy to be of assistance. Thanks, Crumbs. Cheers, man. Had a little like dot of dark grey in there and it was really bugging me. I've just covered that over. I feel quite a bit better about myself. Yeah, that's good. Make sure I'm actually in shot. Ooh. Trying to avoid going too far into the other shades of grey, because actually when you think about this little panel here, it's actually quite narrow. Probably on a huge screen it looks massive, but you know that's only as wide as my paintbrush really. Trying to get 1, 2, 3, 4 shades in there is really difficult. Actually make sure they've all got a decent amount of coverage to make it look effective without ruining it or overloading it. It's quite difficult. Paintbrush out, it's all building up there. Going around the side. Edge line. completely faffed that. But, whatever. Question: how do people push through the last 10 to 20% of a project? Has gone past the ugly phase, but it isn't quite there yet. It is literally perseverance. I'm going to wash my brush up while I talk about this. One of the things that I do to get through it is I examine what I've done and consider what I need to do to finish it. And sometimes I have to write it down or like make a note of the steps I've got to go through. I try to process them in an order, and then it's just a machine-like process of just getting through it and doing the best you can and taking the time. Like this project I've got here, I could rush this. I could rush this if I wanted to. I don't want to. The whole point is to learn the endurance, and that's exactly what you're talking about there, isn't it? Is just learn to deal with the slower part. Know what you got to do, define what you got to do, work out your order, and then just proceed and just go the distance. Trust the process and get it done. That is literally what this show is about. It's just about working through that trudge, and you get it on every project. Geoff, my dad, talks about it on every show. Says he loves the first 60% of a build because he's a terrain builder, and then he absolutely falls out of love with it, hates the whole thing and can't wait to get it gone. And that is where someone like me, who is clearly ADHD, goes and buys another model. And that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to keep on having a stockpile of things because I need that little dopamine hit to get me through. I don't want to have another. I want to have another model always. I mean, that's the point, isn't it? But get your first one done. Yeah. Right. There's some concerning messages going on over here. Bear with me just 1 second. Make sure that everything is all good. We are all good. Lovely. Just needed to make sure. Just need to be a bit more definey down here. Definey is the word I'm looking for. Side down, please. Brush strokes go away. Oh, that's a good consistency. Lovely. The other pain is storage. You're absolutely right. It really is. IKEA glass cabinets or Temu. I try to not buy from Temu. We all know. We all know the get into that pit. Yeah, just light grey across everything else. Okie dokie. As time goes on, I might come back to it here and there and just neaten up a few bits. But I think generally I've got that colour on that second plate in place. There it is. Suddenly goes very light there. I think I just need a bit of opacity. Keep on using this word opacity, but just the solid appearance of the colour. I don't like it going like really, really bright in one bit and then just a bit faded in others. Longer line. Something like that. I want to improve this little bit down here actually. Come back to it. Don't wander off the track now. Not got the space for them. Been looking at different cases and the such, but man, they aren't cheap either. No, they're not. The IKEA ones are expensive. Team everything for about £2. You're a new user. I think Ninjon had a $100 coupon. Don't know what it's still valid. In the cupboard guarding your coffee mugs. So I bought floating shelves. I bought them from IKEA because I thought that they were the best ones, but you could buy floating shelves from anywhere. You could buy any shelf and just stick it on the wall. That is basically what I'm trying to go with that. Or make your own shelves and put them on the walls if you've got the space for that. KR cases is for you. And I would suggest that if you're going to go KR cases, is buy them through the Pit Gaming store. There is a link downstairs in the description. Go and check those guys out. I'm a big supporter of the Pit. I haven't spoken about the Pit for a while. Hi Matt and team, I hope you're okay. They just got some really good deals. They're just a really worthy bunch of gents and potentially ladies as well, and they stock the full range of KR cases. And it's worth going along. If you find them at an event nearby, because they're all over the country all the time, go and check them out and have a chat with them. But you can buy like cardboard boxes for all your models to go into, and then you can buy like the big steel cases, like the carry cases, for like going to an event or to a friend's house to play a game or something like that. And you can then, like, if you've got like loads of cardboard boxes with loads of foam inserts with all your different ranges in them, whatever, you can kind of take them out and populate whatever carry case you wanted if you bought a carry case. But if you put them in the cardboard sleeves, so like little cardboard boxes with all the foam inserts in them, then you could just have a stack of them on your table, knowing that you've got like 125 models or whatever just in a pile. That's what I would do. There's also not just KR cases, there are other companies that do it as well. I just, like I say, support the Pit Gaming store, and KR do make some very good cases. Ooh, lumpy dry bit of paint, fantastic, love that. Don't lick your paintbrushes, kids. It's grim. Was looking at battle foam stuff, same idea. Like I say, I support the Pit Gaming Store, so their license ranges KR, same stuff. Compare prices, compare products, see if it's what you're after. Yeah, have fun. Let us know what you get, of course, as well. Like, you don't have to go and support KR with the Pit. You do you, boo. But I'd love to know what it is that you get, because I want some too, and I want to know what works best. Be my guinea pig. I know it isn't break time yet, but I'm cracking open the adult juice. Black coffee. That's not adult juice. We don't call it adult juice. That makes it sound like I've got some people out the back of a, like basement somewhere with a needle in them drawing out fluids, which is black coffee. I went to a dark place. Moving on. You can have that shiv for your Sabat games in Vampire the Masquerade, mate. Well, the lights paintwork's a little bit on the shiny side, and the light's just going to reflect off it to a point where I can't quite. There's a cat on the roof. Hey, look, I may not live in the south like you, but where I am, only adults drink coffee. Every single one of us can guarantee. Oh, I did a pun and I didn't even realise it, and it made it sound like I was making that pun, and I didn't. I was just trying to make false facts. Guarantee. Happy with that. Oh, it's a tricky bit, that is, just trying to get around those stacks in there. Consistency. It's so key. My quiet voice again. Concentration voice. Can't always be talking. Takes a lot of work to talk and paint and, you know, entertain. And I am very entertaining, aren't I? Aren't I? He's gone cold. It's time for grown-up juice in just a second. Oh, I say this every week, but damn, that carapace is looking so good. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Oh, it's making me go a bit cross-eyed. You know what I mean? Like, damn. Just need to focus for a second. Anyway, if you can believe it already, as always, it is now halfway through, roughly thereabouts. So in just a minute, I'm going to have a quick break. Check on the cats and the other half. I always say other half. We're not married. I don't think we want to be married. But other half, can I say that? Is that allowed? Other half. She is the other half of the relationship. Yeah, there you go. She is charming and very supportive of me and the show and the hobby. She doesn't get it. She doesn't, you know, she doesn't really get involved in this sort of stuff. She says I'm talented and is very supportive, and what you need, isn't it? Someone just cheering your corner on for you. Very grateful. Hi, love. Oh, look, all I'm going to try and do now is just get in behind this stack here, feather in that effect. Split. Right from this angle, could be a bit stronger, a bit bolder, a bit more. Try not to rub anything off, just in the last painting. So I'm going to have to make sure that as I'm like holding it like this, etc., that I don't like smear bits off. Even if they're not freshly painted, I can still take it off quite easily. So yeah, when I finish the whole back part, I'm definitely going to have to just kind of give it a quick inspection and make sure that it's all good. Sure, it will be. And give it a quick varnish, perhaps. Really looking forward to getting those stacks in there, because now as a whole thing, it's starting to look really cool, and the whole colour scheme is going to come together. As soon as I've got those stacks done, that whole back piece is going to look done. Really good. I like my palettes the way I like my women, diverse in colour and a variety of shapes and sizes. And I'm not going to say it because it would need. Right. Gonna. What are you trying to do to me, man? Gonna go for a break. I'll be back in 10. Go change paint water. See you in a minute. Bye. Can't believe it, man. What's up? Yeah, any child of the 90s will remember those Budweiser adverts. Welcome to the show, Silver Scratch Built Productions. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming back again, man. Nice to see you again this week. How are you? How are you doing? Are you working on a project this evening? And welcome back to everybody else and anybody else who might be tuning in a little bit later on or back on the replay. This show is all about just kind of chilling out, making some friends, getting through your paintwork. And I think this evening, we all might be working on some projects that might just be taking the time a little bit, and just nice to know that there's someone else out there who's not struggling, but just, you know, getting through the monotonous part of the tasks. And even though it's a thing that we do for our own fun, sometimes you do get kind of bogged down and think, why am I doing this? I'm on the edge of that with this model here. I know that what I'm doing is moving along, but I know that there's just so much more to do on it, of this particular slow crawling part. Excuse me, got the hiccups. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. And Chris Dulas has joined us as well. Can't stay, just wanted to pop in this week and wish everyone luck on their hobby endeavours. Happy building and painting Friday. Thanks so much, Chris Dulas. Nice to see you again. I hope you're well, and take it easy. See you soon. Watch the replay. And yeah, if you are working on something this evening and you want to tell people about it, come and join in the live chat or stick a picture up on Facebook or Discord or something. Tell us all about it, because I'm genuinely motivated and inspired by all the works that you do. That's what this show is all about. It is a public place to come to. It's a painting club. It's online. It says it in the tin. Go and read the thing down there. So yeah, if you like what we're doing here, or you think that someone else might like it, go and tell them, and then subscribe, because that's the done thing, and it would really make my day if you did. So please do consider subscribing if you haven't already, or go and tell someone about us, me, whatever. And welcome to all the new subscribers who joined recently. Thank you so much. Yeah, cool. It is, of course, that time. Happy Friday, happy weekend, everybody. Cheers. Grown up juice. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, I've been looking forward to that. It's been a stressful week. I don't drink alcohol when I'm having problems. I try to make that distinction. It's just really nice. It's been a tough old week, right? Anyway, look, I'm just going to move straight back over to the workbench, because we're all working on stuff today, aren't we? Here we go. And that's absolutely right, Shiv. Yeah, that close. I get to read it all, man. I can censor you. I can sense it. I have control of this conversation. I'm just cleaning out my mixing brush because it was just a bit loaded with some rubbish. So just in the break, at the end of the break there, give it a bit of a wash out. I think because I didn't wash my, I changed my paint water over at the show, at the beginning of the show. Sorry, it just all the paint separated and settled at the bottom into like a silt. And of course I scrubbed my brush clean and it just picked up all that silt, and it was just full of Blair. Wasn't very nice. And Blair is the right word. Tony Blair. Oh, there it is. It's gone political. Oh, sorry. Oh, he's gone boss-eyed. Oh, he's gone political. Right. Where were we? Back on to this thing. I just put some more paint in my paint palette, and I added a little bit of flow improver, and I added a little bit of paint retarder to stop it drying out so quickly, and a drop of water, and I think the consistency looks pretty good. Find out, right? So I've done 1, 2.5 plates. Carapace. Got to work my way along this side over here. So this is where I'm going. Oh yeah, the consistency of that paint is really good. Hopefully it stays like that. Put a little bit of paint retarder in there just to stop it from drying out so fast. I hope that is part of the deciding factor. This paint being good. That wasn't a very good sentence, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anybody else have that problem? Like, try to say a sentence that starts off with the best of interests and it just turns out like a big pile of dog poo? Yeah, all the time. Oh, zooming through the part of the process. This just tells you that paint consistency is such a massive part of how quickly you're going to get through. But I know that sounds like an obvious thing, like it is obvious, but if it's not working for you, stop and check it out. But there are a lot of paints that you can use from the Vallejo range as an example, or AK and MiG, that you can use right out of the pot. Citadel, they often are very, very thick. It makes them last longer. You're having to like water them down all the time. Perhaps that's a part of old GW Citadel kind of concept, why they charge more for the small. Actually, the paints are designed to go. Sure, they would have said that if that was the case, but you know, you could justify spending the more expensive paints in smaller quantities if that is the case, right? Sure, I'm in shot again. Have a little habit of drifting out of the camera. Getting somewhere. With my renewed consistency on the paint, decided to come back down and just neaten up a few other bits and pieces. I have to come back and do it properly later. Yeah, that's all looking good. Good. Could do with a touch neatening up behind this stack over here. Really tight. Yes, and yes. Okay, on to the last plate. Well, we've got two sides up here, but hopefully not too difficult around the stacks this time. Okay, do you know what? A sip of drink. Here we go. Wipe my mouth dry. Yeah. Don't know why it's suddenly not changed consistency, but I'm just struggling to get the transfer of paint onto the model. Distance. Might just be that the paintbrush needs a bit of a clean. I think it's important to note that I don't ever actually take my own advice, so okay, no, I'm going to clean my own paintbrush out. No paintbrush. What's in this beer? I think we say weird things. Oh, it is such a tasty beer. Got to that point where it's a little bit hard to see. Again, it's the light shining from up right up here, just shining off the semi-gloss of the paint job. It's just a little bit tricky to see where I want the highlights to go. It is looking really good though. I'm really happy with that. Looks cool. I am going to maybe add a little bit more effect just down here in a minute, but by the end of the show, I'm definitely going to be making a really good start on the stacks. I'm really excited about it, because that's just a symbol to me of progress. And you've got to take those little victories. Grown-up juice is a protein water after my workout. Is it? Is it crumbs? Hello, Silver, and belated to Chris. I believe Sliver said, is it Sliver or Silver? But I believe that they said, "What's up?" Not hello. So if you could return in kind, that would be great. tricky around the shoulders. And make that simple borderline. Strokes in. Just working our way around the shoulder there. A very small amount of space to kind of work in and kind of get that effect in that I've been trying to work on. So like I've got the dark grey and I've got the light grey, but there's not a lot of light grey and I want there to be even less highlight grey. So just literally picking out the edges without trying to go absolutely mental in it. It's difficult. I do like to go mental. sometimes it's just nice to go really quiet and really zone in and focus. I just wanted to kind of chime in and say, I haven't forgotten about you. It's not like I've suddenly forgotten that I'm online or something, because that would be really embarrassing. There's Crumbs. What's up? I'm Matic. I love it. I wondered if anyone was going to do it. I did notice it when I typed it in during the break, by the way. Okie dokie. Got to keep on pressing on with this colour, with this effect. Trying to not compromise, cut corners, rush it or anything like that. Taking the time. Doing the thing. This plate, especially on the top edge here, is going to need a lot of neatening up, so I think it'll be one of those projects that I come back to. Not the project that I come back to, that's over the top, but as I'm working on the rest of the project, I'll probably come back to it time and time again, just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna like change that or add to that, or just, you know, start again. I don't think I really thought about where the definitions of all my different greys were going to go when I was putting them on here. So I might like come back and redefine the darker grey, the mid grey, after I put on this highlight here. Seems a little counterintuitive in terms of the order that you want to do things, but I think there's a bit of space to play around with some stuff on this, so I might come back to it and just redefine those bits maybe. trying to keep the confidence going. Is your bullet sponge going to have a scenic base? My bullet sponge? Bullet sponge? Oh! I genuinely thought that you were talking like a sponge called a bullet sponge. Yeah, do you know, like I dissociated there for a moment. I'm so sorry. Do you know, I'm glad that I catch all these dumb moments on the internet and I just upload them and leave them there for future generations to go along and see what an absolute idiot I am. Not a bullet sponge, going to kill everything that you've got. Is it going to have a scenic base? I still don't have the base for it yet. I don't need it yet. I would like to have a cool base on there. One day, ready for the show, I'm going to pull out some of my other tyranids for you and show you some of the really cool bases that I made. I've actually done some like acid pool bases. I got better and better at them as well as it went on quite quickly, and I'm really proud of them. So I'm going to play around with some like resins and things like that and actually try and make like a really cool acid base for this guy. I think would be nice. I was going to do it on my Trigon, excuse me, but the Trigon actually takes up quite a lot of the space because it's kind of, oh, I've got the hiccups. It's in a coil and it didn't really allow for a lot of space to do like a really good pool on there. So I just did some like flat, crappy terrain. But on this one, I think it should have the space to do something really cool. It's a walking target. Yeah, I know it's a walking target. Doesn't mean you're going to kill it though. I suppose it could still sponge up all your bullets and not die before I eat your face. Fact. I didn't realise I was that predictable. So what are your plans for the chitin plates on the legs and shins? Same, just smaller. So that's why I started on the back really, is just to get the practice in. The arms are going to be tricky because they don't have the same, they're not like overlapping plates, it's just a blip thing. So I think it's just about painting it grey. I like the pointy bits. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. So yeah, clean your brush out, Danny. Sat there for ages. Sometimes it's just tempting to get a 3D printer just for making your own cool bases and nothing else at all. Clear his throat. Yes, absolutely could. I have a 3D printer. I have an FDM printer, so I don't think it's particularly suitable for just doing bases. It's good for doing everything. It's a separate hobby, really. I got it because someone was selling it by cheap because they didn't really know what they got. I think they picked it up from some sort of local learning unit institution thingy, and there was a guy there who had some money to spend and bought a load of printers, and then this charity or after school club or whatever it was had closed. I don't really fully know the details of it. Someone bought all the stuff off of them, didn't really understand what they had, and so I bought it off of them. I had to learn what a 3D printer was and how it works and operates, because I had to take it apart, strip it down and clean it to actually use it. But it has been fun, and it's almost like a supplement to the existing hobby that I have. Yeah, I do some other bits and pieces with it. I've made a model with it. It's still in pieces. I did it during COVID. My partner is a Doctor Who fan, and I've made a large Dalek, and it needs a lot of cleanup, and it's a project that I'd like to get around to at one time on this show. I was going to do it a little while ago because I know that John from Out of This World Models and Minis, hi John, watches this show, and he's a really big Doctor Who fan, and actually recently painted up some, I say recently, a while ago now, painted up some Daleks. And I thought that would be nice to kind of just tag along and do a Dalek. Also, I wouldn't say that I'm a big Doctor Who fan. My partner's a big Doctor, like Whovian, I think is the term. Whovian, get that word out. What is in that beer? But I do like Doctor Who. Like I'm not like against Doctor Who. I think it's better than Star Wars. Star Wars rubbish. Love a lightsaber. Get back on track, Danny. Doctor Who, great. Daleks, amazing. I love Daleks. I think they're scary, intimidating. They're like the perfect villain, the greatest bad guy. Defeat them, they come back. Oh, they're just so cool. I remember being genuinely like infatuated but terrified of them when I was a kid. Love it, absolutely love it. Scary when I was a kid, a little bit fun, silly, scary nowadays, but still just a cool thing. I love a Dalek. I think they're great. Whovian. Wow. There'll be some talks about that on Discord later on. Whovian. What a great name. Danny being sponsored by Hobgoblin again. No sponsorships were a part of this video. Have to declare that. There have been no sponsorships. Nope. I just like it. However, if Hobgoblin want to sponsor me, let's enter negotiations. Love Hobgoblin. I specifically love Hobgoblin Gold. I love it. It's my favourite beer. I really want a 4D printer just so I could get a few more hours sleep. 4D printer knows what you want to print before you do. Star Wars, who doesn't want to whip out a red weapon with a glowing end and swing it around? I can see what you're trying to do, but I'm not having it. Just to clarify, no, not a Star Wars fan. I really enjoyed The Mandalorian. You can hear the disappointment in his voice. I really enjoyed The Mandalorian. That was really cool. And not A New Hope. Oh, Rogue One. That was a movie. That was great. Love the fact that they made that movie just off like that one quote right at the beginning of the very first film. A lot of people died to get you this message, and then they spawned that whole movie, and it was great because you know what's going to happen. And spoilers, everybody dies. Darth Vader is terrifying in it. But Star Wars itself, started on something now. If you actually go back and watch Star Wars, unless you're like the biggest Star Wars fan alive, you're never going to see or agree with what I say. But the story's rubbish. Like the way it's written and delivered to you, like it's a good hero versus villains, good versus evil movie, but yeah, story. And I do enjoy it. But like you got to understand how long it took to get all those movies released, from the moment the first one dropped to the moment the last one dropped. Yeah, the first three obviously. Return of the Jedi ended the story for years and years. It wasn't until much later that they brought, you know, the Phantom Menace out, and it ended the story, and it so abruptly, literally went Death Star exploded. There's a scene where they're walking down like Endor, Princess Leia puts a medal on everybody, apart from Chewbacca, and then it just ends with no words, just roll credits. Like it went, story's over now, dead, cool, brilliant. Chewbacca didn't get a medal. I'll say that again, Chewbacca didn't get a medal. He was just as responsible for everybody else, for the story as everybody else was. Getting excited now, like I'm not finishing my sentences properly. Racist. People are going to go back now and watch it just for that little bit. Killer Teddy's on Endor. Who doesn't love him? Rubbish. Just an insult to movie history. I got a bit bored of the whole space laser planet thing, really. Did it in Star Wars, they did it in the next one. You know, they blew up the first one. Then it takes 2 more movies to create and blow up another one. And then in like the most recent set of trilogies, oh, we'll make one as a small planet. Just stop it. Stop it. Always two there are. A master and apprentice. No more, no less. Why not? Get some more. Go and ruin everybody's day. Have 20 Sith Lords running around. Because if it takes that many to be the villain in a movie, like, if you had 20 of them... Mandalorian was good though, wasn't it? Love me some Star Trek. Doctor Who is okay. It's teetered off for me since David Tennant left, but Tom Baker was my favourite Doctor. Yeah, I was a big fan of Tom Baker. When I was young, like, the current Doctor at the time was Sylvester McCoy, so I always had like a thing for him. Not a thing for him, like, crikey. Phrasing, Danny. But he was like super cool. Him and Ace fighting the Cybermen and the Daleks, that was always good. Tom Baker, I think, is my fave. David Tennant was very good, and you're absolutely right, it did teeter off, but I haven't seen the end of Matt Smith's reign yet either. Yeah. What do you think of Capaldi's go? I've only seen a couple of scenes. He looks like a very serious Doctor, and I really like that idea. Oh, just tricky, just around these little niggly wing bits on the side of the shoulders here. A touch of water, just loosen up the paint on the brush there. Make it a bit more supple. As a film, got Warwick a job on 10 of Us. I don't know what that means. I know who Warwick is though. As a filmmaker though, isn't George Lucas like not even very good, or is that something I made up? I mean, like, his filmography was okay, like his cinematography was alright, but I don't think that's really his doing. I think that's the cinematographers, you know, the cameramen. It was okay. I don't like a lot of the transitions between a lot of the scenes, but that's just a personal thing for him. That's how he likes to do it. Han Solo, I think, is a great anti-hero, and I think they should, frankly, stop making him such a good guy. Like, let's be honest. His opening scene, he murders Greedo. Like, Han shot first, and I'm totally in the Han shot first court. Like, I know in the later releases, like the remastered ones, they changed it, but that's just covering up the fact that Han Solo's a murderer. And I like the darker side of Han. Let's get into that. Han Solo movie, rubbish. Say it how it is, Danny. Just get it out there. Darth Maul, great guy. Like him. Double-ended lightsaber, fantastic. It did do one bad thing though, didn't it? And it started the whole craze of every lightsaber's got to be unique from now on. Boring. predictable. The lightsaber with lightsaber crossguards. As a capable sword fighter, may I just add, that's just a great way of chopping off your own limbs. Or stabbing yourself in the face and making it easy for the good guys. But when there's a cash cow, milk it, right? I haven't seen the Ashoka series, and I would like to see that, to be honest. There are parts of it that are really good. I liked it when Ashoka turned up in The Mandalorian. I thought she was a really cool character, very interesting in that. I've been told that it's not as good as The Mandalorian, but I like to make up my own mind. But it is interesting to get other people's point of view, of course, and it is all personal. Like, you know, just because I don't like Star Wars or think it's a bad film doesn't make it a bad film. It's all subjective. It is art at the end of the day, right? It's just not my thing. But then there was that series that came out recently. I can't remember what it was called. You're all going to get very cross at me and tell me what it is now. But received like unanimously bad reviews. Like, that's a shame, isn't it? Look, just in the last few minutes, kind of got the last of those plates finished. I was hoping to get onto the stacks today, but I'm happy with where we are. The Acolyte, I just saw it at the corner of my eye. Thanks, Crumbs, the Acolyte. Yeah, I haven't seen anything other than a couple of little trailers. I don't really like to watch trailers. I spoil a lot of what. I try to go in it with an open mind. But yeah, it received some bad reviews, didn't it? Yeah, I'm going to have to neaten these up. I know I'm probably going to do some more work to it, come back to it later on. Just trying to get some highlights on some of these raised points. There's like a little pointy bit here. I've put a little bit of a highlight and a pointy bit here. Looks okay. Very easy to go a bit too far. Try to loosen up the paint that's actually in the bristles of my brush and I don't like that later on. I can always come back in. But that is a nice effect that I'm very happy with, all in all. I'm going to do the stacks next, then move on to this bit here, and hopefully that piece will go, this lower piece down here, that will go faster. And then onto the tail. In a minute, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just improve the new consistency paint that I've got. Do you know what? Do it now. Have some fun. Not. Yeah, that's better. Okay, one last little bit then. One final hurrah for the evening. Then, of course, we can take this over to Discord. Lots of comments going in now. Respectable things like G1 Transformers. There's no other Transformers, just G1. Michael Bay, he doesn't love Megan Fox in shorts. I don't want to watch Transformers movie just to see some hot bird in some shorts. There are other online programs for that. One shall stand and one shall fall. Best line in any movie ever. Ugh, what a showdown. We had it great in the 80s, didn't we, as kids? And yeah, brilliant. Absolutely loved it. I cried so much in the cinema when Optimus Prime died. That day my childhood died too. Do you know, there's a lot of information you can find out online. There was a child in Germany who locked himself in his bedroom for a fortnight. Fortnight. Did like the way that the animated movie started though, like opening scenes, music video, loved it. What's not to love? Hot Rod, who's that? Said every child. You can't just bring new people in like that. What are you doing? But it was great. Starscream, of course, got his moment to wear the crown. Oh, what a day. What a day to be alive. Just ruined everything in one foul swoop. Right, let's fix that. Scatman John, as well as voice of Jazz. Jazz was one of my favourites. And I don't like what they did to Jazz in the Michael Bay movie. There's the rumour, and I don't know how true it is, but I do believe it is the truth, is that Porsche didn't want that to be associated with that movie. So as a kind of a screw you move, even though it wasn't a Porsche car, Jazz is often associated with Porsche. Megatron just grabs him and tears him in half. Well, I mean, what a way to go out. I mean, it was a cool scene, but come on, man. It's a bit harsh, isn't it? Cool. Anyway, yes, I need to repair this blunder here, which I'm going to sort that out. It's a bit of a sore thumb now, isn't it, that I can see it? So I'm just going to go in with some of the mid-grey. Take that down a little bit, I think. Yeah, and then I'm going to just start on the stacks, I think, moving into Discord this evening. So, do you know what? We're going to come away from here. Back to here. Hello. Just going to have a quick flick through all of those comments there. Just make sure I haven't missed anything like super awesome or important. Awesome Wells. Yeah, Unicron, man. If you thought that Astro Train and the city complex, I can't remember what they're called now. But yeah, the two giant city transformers. If you thought that they were big, like Unicron's a moon-based one, man. That was sad, wasn't it? Crazy. What are their comments? Galactica Battlestar, the reboot, was amazing. I've got the whole collection on DVD. Even though like DVDs aren't the thing to collect anymore, like that was good. It was a good reboot, and I agree with all of the changes they made in it. Loved it. I thought it was cool. I like the fact that they kind of kept the old style in there as well to kind of show, like, you know, progression. That was really cool. It went a little bit weird when, like, it was all, oh, now we're all like organic, but whatever. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very cool. So many comments. Literal planet transformers, you underestimate me. Yep, Devastator was a gestalt from the constructions. Triptychon, Metroplex and Devastator. No, not Devastator. Yeah, Triptychon and Metroplex. That was the one I was trying to think of. Yeah, absolutely enormous. I liked Soundwave, and I liked all the cassettes, and I liked Panther. Oh, why is his name going out of my head? Obviously, there was Laserbeak as well. He was kind of cool. Ravage, thank you very much. And Rumble, he was kind of cool. And of course, in the Michael Bay movies, they did Ravage, and I thought he was awesome. Some people don't like the Transformers in the Michael Bay movies. As time went on, they did more and more of it. But they did like the whole, they have organic fluids in them, and I thought it added a visceral thing to them. I really liked that. Some people didn't. I thought it just added a nice visual element to the scenes. Do you know what I mean? Like when, is it Bumblebee, I think, fights Ravage, and he kind of just, like, he spines him, and then, like, there's just, there. It was just a nice thing. I liked it. I didn't like Bumblebee taking a wee on the man. It was a bit juvenile. You could do better. Anyway, I'm sat here in slated Transformers, Michael Bay, Transformers, Bayformers. But it's the Painting Club, and that's what it's all been about this evening. If you like what we do here, the chats, they've been a bit weird today. It's been quiet, and I've appreciated and enjoyed that. But if you do tune in later on and you like what we do, or you don't like what we do, but you fancy supporting us anyway, please subscribe, because subscribing is the way to make the community grow, and I want the community to get immense. I want to bring as many people as we can to this community, because we all should hopefully share a passion for the hobby that is making models and painting them and playing war games and talking nonsense and getting involved in the lore and talking about how to paint stuff and talking about history and all the different games that are out there and all the wonderful providers of services and painting and model making and just the cool stuff that's out there. It's a veritable treat for the senses, and that's what the show's about, is bringing all those people together. So if you like what we do, please subscribe. On this side, yeah, do the thing, do the thing, subscribe. I don't know why I'm singing. I am off my rocker today. Skyfire, thanks for that. Yeah, Skyfire. Ratbat Frenzy Laserbeak. Why don't I remember Ratbat? Huh. I also like the newer versions of the films that they were doing the Michael Bay thing, when you've got like the team going around hunting Decepticons that are in hiding, and Optimus Prime threatens the humans. And I thought, yeah, that's more like it. Thank you very much. Loved that. It was great. Didn't like Devastator. Why has it got testicles? Gonna say that out on the stream. That was just the same person who wrote that was the person who did Bumblebee taking a wee on the guy at the beginning. Like, stop it. Ridiculous. Anyway, that's enough for me this evening. Thanks for coming along. Like I say, it has been a quiet one. Sometimes it is a quiet one. Sometimes it's just really rowdy, and that's absolutely fine. Also, I'm going to bring my microphone a little bit closer. And I just enjoyed your company. Like I said at the beginning of the show, sometimes it's a really stressful life out there in the normal muggles part of what we do in life, and it's really nice to know that I've got a reason to carve out a couple of hours every week to come and join in with you guys and paint stuff and do the stuff that I enjoy doing. And it's really nice to have that, and I hope that you enjoy that. I hope you find that valuable, to have that opportunity as well. So like I said, if you do know someone that is looking to get into the hobby, or you know someone who might benefit from the show, bring them along, because I love it and hopefully you love it too. And that is enough for me this evening. So thank you very much for coming along and keeping me company. And until next week, stay safe, be kind to each other, keep on painting, and get some colour on your grey. I will see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye. It's always a bit weird hearing it when I get to this bit in the music. Maybe, should I just cut this music out? It's not even music. What is it? Yeah, I deliberately stretched that out. See you in Discord. Forgot to say that. Bye.